actually. Breaking news, R. Kelly has been found guilty by a federal jury today in a sex trafficking trial following decades of numerous allegations of sexual assault and misconduct involving young women and children. Now, Kelly was convicted on 9 charges that were based on the accusation that he ran a criminal enterprise comprised of managers and assistants beneath him who helped Kelly meet young women and girls for his sexual desires. Now, following the verdict, R. Kelly's defense lawyer, Deborah O'Connor, says he's sure that they will be appealing the sentence after he's been found guilty in the racketeering case. What are your thoughts on this update and for R. Kelly to get this, to take this big loss?
We knew he was going to. We absolutely knew that this was going to come to an end. I don't think so much that he thought so, because he just kept doing it, you know what I mean? And kept risking it, you know what I mean? But it started long time ago. And I guess when you get used to something, you don't get caught, then you start feeling yourself. And most celebrities do, most men do when they get away with a lot of things. And the parents came around and was like, not no more, not mine. Because I'm standing up for mine, because I'm gonna tell, we've been waiting for it since he got locked up and see what they were going to do and what was going to be able to stick, and now
it all stuck.
All 9 counts.
Hate to say it. I was like, wow, everything. They're like everything.
Yeah,
everything.
And I think that's gonna be hard to kind of appeal everything. I mean, I guess you'll lessen the sentence if you get, lucky. But I just think that they had a lot of proof, and they had a lot of witnesses that came through, and they had a lot of parents to testify as well. They got videotape, and we've been hearing about videotapes for years.
Forever. That started it all.
Exactly.
Selena, you worked with him before. Well, what are your thoughts on this? Being that you knew him, and what are your thoughts on this? That it's kind of, well, I guess, come to an end until an appeal happens. But what do you think?
Honestly, like everybody said, we've been following this situation, and, I've said so many things on it, but the one thing that I'm sad, guys. Sad all around. Like, it's sad for the women, of course, but I'm sad for him too. A young boy that was victimized, that ended up victimizing others, is paying for he's paying for what happened to him and what he did to others.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, all this music, all this legacy, his kids,
gone.
His ex-wife, and, all of the people that were around him that maybe didn't know, what was going on. And then it's just very.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
No, don't stop me, because I got to finish. It's just very sad. Like, I'm not talking about didn't know what was going on. I'm talking about like that didn't see stuff, like you and I, it wasn't like we were sitting there watching stuff happening. You know what I'm saying? It was very shocking to see those Lifetime specials and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. We were walking around this man and not knowing nothing that was going on like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just real sad, like the whole legacy, everything. He like jammed his whole life up. He jammed up his whole catalog. It's just, it's really messed up. So
I know it's personal for you, because we are personal friends with Rob. You know what I mean?
Like
I grew up with him, so I know. Right. So when it hit hard, it hits close to home.
It's different. It's not just good, you went to jail. It's like, dang.
Yep. And it's so unfortunate, because those people you were talking about that be in your camp, that help facilitate it, they work for you. So it's almost like their job. And even if they turn the other cheek, it's like, will he really listen? Because when you're the boss, it's only so much your assistant can buck up and say to you, really, your publicist or whatever. You're
absolutely
right. Kind of like, look, I heard you say it once, I heard you say it twice, don't say it again.
Right.
I think society has a huge problem with holding celebrities, famous people, and people that are rich accountable. And if it can benefit us in any way to keep our mouths shut, we do. There's no way that all those people that were around him, y'all may not have known, because he wasn't going to share that with y'all sisters, because you guys have integrity. He's not going to share that with you. But there's people around him that were totally fine with assisting this man. And the sad thing with the story, yes, this man committed a lot of crimes against a lot of kids and young women. There was a crime committed against him that was never addressed, and it allowed him to become a monster. And in the Black community, we have got to stop making this thing so taboo and not believing our sons and our daughters when they say an uncle, a sister, a mother, a father touched us. And we got to knock that shit up. We got to cut that off. We got to cut it out.
And we got to rise above, because some parents was like having their 16-year-old daughter stay out. And it's like at 16, at 15, like, why wasn't you knocking on the door going, get your ass out of there and come bring your ass home?
That too. So many facets. It's so many facets and levels to this whole thing. It's like everybody could be responsible. You know what I'm saying? It's like so much deep. Responsibility. It's real deep. And it's really sad for me to see all of that legacy and all that work and all of that love that we created, that we accumulated for him and his music and what he did to music. And now none of that matters anymore.
He's facing up. Last question. He's facing up to how many years, y'all?
They didn't say that.
10 minimum. 10 minimum.
And I think it's a lot more. It was 9 layers of charges.
Yeah, no, it's 10 minimum. And then he could get 10 to life. But he also has charges in Illinois and somewhere else.
Dang. Oh, he
hasn't even been tried for.
Kelly, we feel for you for what you've been through when you were a child, but a lot of us have been touched, molested, raped, been victims of sexual assault, and we can't use that as an excuse to victimize young Black girls and boys. Let's move on because listen, we'll cover it again.